it's very important that everyone is on mute. So please remember that. I know that from time to time we are forgetting. Of course, if there is a question, just raise hand and you can unmute yourself and ask the question so we can proceed, or keep your question in the chat. It depends how important it is to be responded immediately. So if it's important to be responded immediately, don't hesitate and just unmute yourself and ask the question. Otherwise, keep your question in the chat. Today we try, the agenda is very ambitious for 1 hour, very, very ambitious. I want to go over Bluemix usage we are going to have in this class, and I want to make sure that everyone is clear what we are doing and why we are doing this, because actually this week we start intensively with Bluemix, exploring some of the services there with the purposes of the topic of our class. Of course, I'm going to try very short overview of text analytics in which we have been working from previous week and advancing towards natural language processing, and also have at least 25 minutes for Watson Analytic walkthrough, which is going to get you started to the group project. So you understand that today's agenda is ambitious. We will try to cover as much as possible, and what is not possible, we will try to answer in class, and next week, as needed, we will do another WebEx. So regarding Bluemix, let me share my screen and make sure that everyone already what I'm sharing is not this. And make sure that everyone already has created according to the instruction of the classroom, the free Bluemix account, and has requested the 6-month free code from Elena. According to the information I have, almost everyone. Elena, I am correct?
Honestly, only 8 people requested the Bluemix code.
Only 8, so we are not in good track. I don't know why I was just the opposite understanding. So most importantly, I would like to stress how important it is you jump to this as soon as possible, because all the assignments are related with the platform where we are going to apply what we are studying in the project you are doing. As previously I pointed, Bluemix is a cloud deployment with a huge number of services and very good number of services which are analytical services which we are going to use in the cloud. How convenient is this? We understand that today the technology is moving toward using the services of analytics. Most of the tools, some of the tools you can install in your computer like R, Python, which are open source, free languages, and you can have in your computer. But when it goes to work with big data, the technology change, and that was what we have been discussing in the first 2 weeks, that big data is not just definition, characteristic, but the tool and the approach, how we deal with this data and how we extract the insight from this data, that ultimately this is the job of the data analyst, to extract insight from the data. So the tendency of having everything in your computer for this type of problem doesn't work, because any big data tool requires, let's say, at least deployment in network of commodity computer, distributed computer network. So we are talking about expensive infrastructure. what is the tendency today in this direction in industry? There are two major directions. One direction, company deploy the required, let's say, the required infrastructure to deal with data in the, let's say, in hosting the server. But anyway, the company deploy Hadoop, Spark, and all relevant big data analytic tool to deal with big data. In this case, the company has to have the commodity hardware and software, and have to have maintenance, update, and all these things. So that is one direction. Let's say they are company which from several years these companies have been a leader in this direction, which are Cloudera, Databricks. They provide free distribution of Hadoop, Spark, and of course, company contract them to manage their infrastructure. So even the software is open source free distribution Hadoop. When you deploy this for a company, you need to manage, you need on top a system to manage all this software. So this is one of the directions. The other direction is, as a company, you don't want any headache about the infrastructure. You have everything in the cloud, and what you do is contract services. So we are mostly going to work in our class in this second direction, in which we are going to use the services provided in Bluemix. For those of you who already have reviewed Bluemix, I'm sharing here the main screen of the catalog, starting from top to bottom. When you start scrolling, the number of services which are provided here, of course, is intimidating. And when you start, let's say, overviewing them, for each of them, you have to spend a lot of time in order to understand you need this, for what you need this. So, of course, we cannot do this in a single class. That's not the purpose. The purpose is you are exposed to use services in the cloud, which is the today tendency in any industry, but we will focus in very targeted group of services related with the topic of our course. One of the group is the data and analytic group, in which we are going to work with DashDB next week, with Hadoop and Spark the following week. And we are going to do Insight for Twitter in DashDB. I just skimmed very fast in the class. One of your colleagues find an article regarding this. I haven't clicked even in the link. That was shortly before we started this meeting. But let me just anticipate. This is the work we are going to do next week. Insight for Twitter with DashDB. So part of the analytic related with sentimental analysis, we will start next week. This week, what we are going to explore is related still with the topic we started previous week, which was text analytics, and advancing from the basic, let's say, topic in text analytics towards more complicated related with natural language processing. And when it goes to natural language processing, it goes in different directions. In the direction we are going to topic, because all these topics we are talking about, they are very broad and extensive. So we narrow in certain direction in which we are interested as a data analyst. As a data analyst, what is our interest in text analytics? What is our interest in natural language processing? And why we are going to spend a little time in this course on this. In order to be effective, we are not going to build anything on scratch. we are going to use at least couple of these, let's say, services of Watson here. They are shown in the screen, and we are going to explore them as a class, not as individual assignment. You will be exploring and sharing what you have learned. We are not going to go in deep, let's say, building on top of these services application, because it would require time and more programming skill. We just want to open the door of your understanding what is the importance of processing textual data and using application as natural language processing in so many areas of our life. That's why we are going to go to this part of the of Bloomix. So question up to here before proceeding to the next question. Anyone is not able to create the account in Bloomix? Anyone?
Professor Garcheva, this is Vivian Hunsley. I have a question or a comment. This particular screenshot shows different services under Watson than what was in the screenshot in the classroom. There were 4 or 5 different services that we were told to add, and I don't see those in my environment either. So they had the term beta next to them, I think. So I just wanted to let you know in case there's something we need to do to get ours up to date.
Okay, let me try to understand better. Is your screenshot the same I'm showing right now?
Yes.
So that is fine. That means because Watson updates this constantly, the screenshots were taken, let's say, at least 28 days before the class started, when we created the classroom, and the update was made after that, and we didn't realize. So thank you so much, and you understand that whatever we are doing constantly is updated, and this is part of your professional future experience. So thank you so much. So what is not matching is the screenshot in the classroom, right? Don't hear. What is not matching is the classroom?
Sorry, I'm using 2 mute buttons, the one on my phone and the one on the computer. In the week 3 discussion area, there's a screenshot that has examples of which services we should be subscribing to. That's what's different than this. Okay, they should be updated. That is, so I understood you correctly. We are in the same page. These screenshots were taken, let's say, late July, and since then this has changed. We will update the screenshot. But mostly you have to go to the same, which are named tone analyzer, let's say. We suggest them for purposes to narrow, because we understand that in 1 week you won't be able to explore all of them. That's why we would like that you concentrate on a couple of them. So we will take another screenshot and update them. But I understand that some of them are updated, some of them appear with different name, some of them don't appear. But I guess tone analyzer and visual recognition are in your classroom, right? The other maybe not. And maybe since the service has been updated, with update and adding different, what happened constantly, all these services are gaining, let's say, input constantly from user and constantly are updated. And with updated functionality, sometime even the title changed slightly or drastically. It depends of the update. So it's totally understandable what you see there. But I guess at least 2 are the same, and the other 2 which are not the same, we are going to update. Other question up to here?
I guess, Vivian, I was gonna say just focus on the service names more, and also is there links in the classroom where you can watch the video about the service? You may find those useful. Just recommendation.
Mhm. Yeah, but we need to update the screenshot.
I will. Yeah, but
Because
I mean, again, there is no guarantee that the look and feel is not gonna change tomorrow. They may update again, so we'll see.
Right, well, concept, insights, and relationship extraction are the two that aren't there.
concept,
Where?
it changed. Yeah, I see.
Okay. I'll go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and fix it. Thank you so much, Vivian.
Yeah. Okay. At least start concentrating in the one which are the same, and we will update this. Very important. So I want again to appeal that you as a team, as a class, share as much as possible, because we understand that there is no time in the class to work in each stuff as an individual assignment. So this task is going to be a class task, and we will learn together as much as possible and accumulate knowledge, which later on, maybe in your capstone project, some of your colleagues in the capstone are using this application, for instance, another, it depends what type of project. So we just opened the door for future with this in the classroom, okay? So let's move on. Again, don't hesitate as soon as possible to create your account and request the code from Elena. It's very important. You see my number here is different. When you open account, yours is going to be 29, and with the code, it's going to go somewhere 180 days. Now, if you wait that your free account expires and you don't enter the key, for instance, when it says add credit card and add promo code, the key you receive, you have to click in this promo code and enter this promo code, which will extend your account. Very important. Two things keep in mind. You have to do this before your account expires. If your account expires, the code is not going to work. And secondly, don't enter any credit card, because these are academic codes, and if you enter, let's say, credit card, just it defeats the purposes. Your academic part is not going to work, and if you go above some permitted services, like here, let's go to this one, tone analyzer. Let's view here what you are going to observe. I'm sorry, my internet seems in the hotel is very slow. I don't have so many resources. I'm in Wi-Fi in a hotel, so it's not coming. Anyway, when you go to any of the services, you will see the rule of what is free and what is not free. Why I'm stressing to the credit card? Here it is. This is what you are going to see. So you see that for this specific service, 1,000 API calls are free per month. But if you put with the academic account, nothing is going to happen. If you go above, you just are not going to be able to do anything. And this is plenty for us in the classroom, so we don't have any problem. Now, if you put a credit card, it will be charged. Okay? So don't put any credit card, work with the academic. There is plenty of room in all the services to do the job we have to do in any class project. Okay? That are the two important things. So every time you go, observe the service. The first thing, view all the documentation which is related with the service. View the demo. Here you can see, for instance, they are nice video about Bloomix, and always learn something before jump directly to what you plan to do as an assignment or directly to answer the question which is asked. So it's very important you try to educate and you understand what you are doing and why you are doing this. Otherwise, it defeats the purposes of what we are doing in this class. And don't hesitate to ask questions. That's why this part of the class we are doing, not as an individual, but as a class assignment. When we go to the data analytic part, to Spark, DashDB, next week, we are going to do individual assignments. So week 3 is crucial. You jump and you get handled to work with this cloud environment packed with a lot of services. Okay? So if no question up to here? If not, I'm going to continue with our agenda, which is the next point. We started previous week with text mining and text analytics, and just for clarification, wherever we refer to the literature, to the two terms, they are almost indistinctly used with the same purpose. So we can use them indistinctly, text mining, text analytics as the same thing. But as you see here, I have one graphical presentation which is quite complicated, but very instructive, I would say, because we try to get more clear understanding of a lot of different concepts which cross our screen when we read, and we try to discern what this refers to and what is the purpose of this. So in your previous classes, Data 630, which was data mining, the part of text mining is related to algorithm studied in data mining to do text classification and text clustering. Actually, what you are doing right now in the first assignment is just this part of this graphical presentation, where text mining overlap many different areas with different applications. So right now, we are working in what is text mining in the assignment 1, using your knowledge of data mining acquired in Data 630 and R language to do text classification and text clustering. Other important area in text mining is the web mining, but as you understand, this is just a small subsection of text mining. And another important area which exists for quite a bit is information retrieval, which overlap or is intersection between library and information science and text mining, and some knowledge of data mining. So if you can give it a thought on this graphic, you can read more. There is a reference in the classroom from the previous week, in week 2, and go back and give reflection to what you have learned right now and try to better interpret this graphic. Right now, I would like to point, first I already pointed what we have been doing and where we are moving. We are moving to the right part of this graphic, which is related with what the intersection of text mining with machine learning. This is very important term right now, a very important topic right now, because actually the direction on big data, which is 80% unstructured data, and most of them are text data, you understand that machine learning on text data is the direction from which we hear in any businesses and in any application. So the intersection of machine learning, artificial intelligence, and text mining is what we find here, these three intersection area. Information extraction, this is one of the services in Watson Analytics we are going to explore this week. Natural language processing, of course, we are going to explore this quite superficially, like part of certain of Watson, because the Watson services we see in Blomix, let's say, substantial part of Watson is the understanding of natural language processing. And the other important part is concept extraction. So this week we are going to try to explore the intersection of text mining with machine learning and computational linguistics without going in deep to the computational linguistics. So since we are not going to go in deep to this, we are going to go in the application area, try to get the understanding where we are moving in text mining and what type of problem actually this type of intersection can solve, which are useful for any business. Ultimately, this is our interest. We have to understand what is the benefits of this. So I have put here several slides in which I'm not going to spend time because we have to go to other points. But I have here summarized the main point I want to see reflected somehow in your writing in the assignment 1. The first slide is just summarizing what in practice is important text mining and how we cannot go even to processing insurance claim or working on biomedical literature and analysis to do search to develop new cure, new medicine, or let's say do sentimental analysis. All these are part of text mining. The terminology here, most of these things you are going to target in your report. I summarize them here because I want to hear that you actually understand this terminology, because it doesn't make sense that you implement something, it runs. I see there is a lot of challenges also with R. Any update, some of the copies need some tweaking, it's not working exactly the same way, and this is related also with the update. So I want that you keep in mind what is the subject. That's why I want to see all this terminology, at least explain part of them in your report for assignment 1. And that you understand the back of talking approach to deal with text, what you are doing in assignment number 1. Okay, question up to here, because this is a summary what I expect to see of the assignment number 1 with R at the end of this week. Any question up to here? I see, Vivian, your hand is up. Do you have question? No? Okay. We are moving on. Asan, do you have question? No? You can unmute yourself because I don't see anything in the chat. Oh, I see.
Yes, I just wanted to ask the terminologies. It's related to part 2 of the question. Am I correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
The terminology I put, this is extensive. You have to, of course, focus in the most important and explain. It's very important that when I read your report, I understand that you know what you are doing. It's not just coding something in R using R function that's working, and you give me a screenshot and you say, I see this and this and this. That actually this is implementation of the concept. That is the purpose. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
So the point we are starting with, which way this week, they are a couple of good readings starting from previous week. And the most important challenging issue with the natural language processing, we understand that as a human, syntactic ambiguity, word level ambiguity, and interpretation in the context are the things which we as a human, we can deal. But building a machine which can interpret and understand natural language processing and actually respond question produced by human, computer response question, or computer, let's say, respond to your email, is the same thing. This starts with the natural language processing and the main issue related with this. The most important is, as a human, we rely on context and how we train a computer that computer can understand enough and interpret a natural language processing. Here are very good example of structured and unstructured data, which I very would like when we go to understand better what Watson computer is. We perhaps are going to talk more after you complete the reading on Watson computer, which are posted in the classroom. I want just to point to the challenges there. Try always to give an example. Always when you read some concept is very important. You can produce an example to support what you understand by this. So this example graphically here is very instructive in terms to understand the difficulty of understanding actually natural language processing. Just one single of these bullets. How can a house can burn up as it burns down? And that is our natural language. That is English. And in order to train a machine to understand, this has to be understood with very, let's say, more sophisticated, not rule, with more sophisticated mechanism, and machine learning is playing big role in this. So we are going to talk more about Watson computer next week after you complete the assignment and you post, let's say, your reaction in the classroom regarding what you are observing. The solution type of natural language processing, the application is very important. When you read an overview, please pay attention. This is not exhaustive application area. And just what we have here is plenty to tell us the importance of this area of application. So very important, keep in mind when you read something and understand at least some example, think about an application area which it can be useful. Here I want to point your attention that we are going to work with single vendor. Like in any class, we cannot use all existing platform, tools, and languages for a single assignment because it cannot work in a single class. Although there are many vendors in the area of natural language processing, we are going to concentrate for the purpose of this class, since the platform is blooming, with Watson. And let's say in this realm, Watson is the pioneer, is the first one. Now we have, let's say, in this direction, another vendor coming with good product. Google are coming with Tensor, which is partially similar solution of the problem. But Watson is, let's say, unique and still improving in the direction of cognitive computer. Not only that the natural language processing is a part of it, but going to the paradigm shift of computing, which is the cognitive computing. And when we talk in these previous 2 weeks about big data and smart data, we have to connect our understanding of big data with cognitive computing. When we move from big data to smart data, cognitive computing come to play. And I think we will have a lot of time in this class to talk more about this. So I'm just going to delineate the most important Watson points, and they are 2 very important video posted in the classroom, so you can understand more in depth how Watson uses natural language processing and learning in depth in order to create hypotheses, search for evidence, analyze evidence, and combine whatever evidence finds with statistical confidence level, to giving them a weight to give the answer to the question. So it's like working the way we as a human learn about learn about anything. We observe, we adapt, we learn, and we repeat, and we learn again. So that are the main characteristics of Watson. Pay attention when you listen to the video to the next 2 slides. The slides will be posted in the classroom in addition to the recording. This is the way it would be answered the question if is by keyword. But Watson is not keyword, no search by keyword. I mean, their application, which by keywords, you can do useful text analytic, right? Not for application like cognitive computing, when we want to go and be able to interpret natural language processing. So as you understand in this graphic, just the keyword search failed to give the correct answer. Only in-depth search, in many different directions, exploring different hypotheses, looking for huge number of evidences and many different algorithms. Just for this example, here is geographical information, paraphrasing, and data match was able in deep analysis to get the correct answer. So please pay attention to these 2 graphics when you learn about Watson, so you really understand what we are talking about. And keep in mind that these are the 3 key focus area of Watson. Any question up to here before moving to the next point? No, it's not more. I don't see any hand here. I don't see anything in the chat. So it appears that we can move to the next one, which is Watson Analytics. Totally different cloud, totally different product. Let's say Watson Analytics was built based on Watson, but just taking small part without all this deep learning, which is the base of Watson. Watson Analytics is a tool more for business analytics. So your group project is going to be with Watson Analytics. I think most of you already accepted the invitation, are enrolled in the Watson Analytics environment. We are using as a class, not individual environment. Why? Because as a team, you will share a folder and you will work together in a common data set. So I would like that Elena provide at least 10-15 minute quick walkthrough to Watson Analytics. Elena, are you ready to give you the
Yes.
presentation,
Yes,
guys?
and primarily I want to show you guys what you should not do, what you cannot do, should not do, and please don't do. All right. So you're gonna give me the control, or
Yeah, I'm giving you the
thank
control,
you.
yeah.
So I'm just gonna have to say share my screen, right? Oops.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so you can see that, right? This is a landing page, right? So you have the data tile here, discover and display. Data is where you're gonna import your data. Here, note that here, it's a personal folder, right? So this area is what you only can see. And there is also the shared area. That's the area where you and the person you're sharing the file with can see. So if you may notice that when you expand the shared area, for your class, for our session, there is a folder called Fall 2016 Data 650. If you do not see that folder, please let me know, and I'm going to fix it immediately, okay? So make sure that you see this folder right here. Now, look at this. Inside this folder, I created the subfolders for each team. Make sure that you see the folder for your team. If you do not, contact me and I'm going to fix it, okay? Another thing that I was going to say, now by default, when you import the file, right, it's going to be in your personal area. Let me show you how to share files with your team. So here it is. This is my personal area, right? This is my file. I imported the data set, right? Here it is, sitting in my personal area. To share the file with the team, just let's assume that I belong to team 1. I'm going to click right here, and I'm going to do move. Now here, I'm going to select data 650, which is what your session is. And here I'm going to select your team, right? And I go move. Now, there we go. Now, if I scroll down, make sure that all your team members have permission, whoever's in your team. Well, yes. To see this view and edit, only your teammates have a right to view and edit the folder. That's how it's configured. So this is team 1, right? So here it is. Those are the members of team 1. Only those people can see your personal folder. And of course, I'm as an admin, I get full control. So now what I can do, I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, this tile is going to disappear from my personal area, and it's going to show in a team 1 group right here, right? So here we're going to have to make a deal here. Everything that you save has to be either in your personal area right here. It has to be either in your personal area, or it has to be in the area designated for your group, okay? It has to be in the area designated for your group. What happens if I see a file over here in the overall shared area? Do you know what happened? Can you guess what's going to happen to it? Any file that is misplaced, saved in the wrong place, can be accessed to anyone in the system, right? So it's going to be deleted. Now, if there is a recycle bin in here, I don't think so. So everything that gets deleted is gone forever. That's something to keep in mind, okay? And also be really careful with permissions, because it's highly possible that if it's set up incorrectly, you may lose access to your own work. Trust me, you may lose access to your own work if you're not careful. Now, so let's go back to the personal area. I'm going to show you something here. To add new data set, see this? New data. There is more than one way to add new data set. You can upload the data from the desktop, which is going to be local file, right? So you can drag and drop and you can browse. But look here, import, and you already have sample data. And I think one of you may have asked which data set you can use for the project. You're more than welcome to choose from the sample data. Let me click here and see all of this. Yeah, you might go ahead and if you want to use one of them, perhaps you're going to select it and you're going to hit import. I'm not going to do it right now because of the connections. I don't want to take a lot of bandwidth from recording. Let me close out, right? So whenever you import it, it's going to show in your personal area right here, right? So now notice that we have 3 tiles in here: data, discover, and display. Data is the actual data set that you have imported. Discover is going to be any explorations that you develop, so to speak. I'll show you what it is. So basically, what I could do is I could enter my question, right? So now, right now, I'm in the personal area. I can enter my question over here, and Watson Analytics is going to pick up anything from my data on my personal areas that could answer my question. For instance, I want to say total sales, something like that. I'm going to do the search, and it's going to give me the suggested list of starting point. It's a little bit slow today, but what it's going to do is it's going to try to guess. Oh, Elena needs to learn how to spell. Okay, anyway, take a look at it. It picked it up, right? So Watson Analytics is trying to guess what I'm trying to ask. And how does it know? It's looking at the data, and it's looking at the column names in Excel files that were imported. So here it's picking up this thing was most relevant. And here it believes that this is the most relevant visualization. I'm going to click here. And when I do this, I'm creating a new discovery, right? This is a new discovery that I'm creating. And there are many different types of discoveries. The spiral type is going to show you which factors or which variables are going to be the most significant predictors, okay? Which of my variables are going to be the most significant predictors of my independent variable? Right? This is independent variable. I'm sorry, this is a dependent variable, rather, sales. And if I put my mouse over here, see this? It's showing me the predictive strength. It's showing me the predictive strength for the sale. It goes by different combination of predictors, right? And it's showing me the predictive strength, for instance, 85% for this one. And I can further drill down, right? And here are the related expressions that I can choose from. Now notice that this is a workbook, and a workbook could have multiple tabs. So what I recommend, I strongly recommend that you guys name your tabs, you enter names, because you want to make sure that tomorrow you remember what you did today, right? So you're going to go ahead and you can edit, right? And then you can add more tabs and you can add more visualizations on each tab. Like, for instance, I like this right here. I'm going to click on this, and it's going to add a new tab here for me. And it's another exploration type right here, right? So here, this is a decision tree rules. So if you're doing this type of exploration in your project, I would strongly recommend discussing the rules. Something is going on. It has been okay. Anyway, so now I created the new discovery set. What I have to do is I have to save it, right? And to save it, I'll do this. I go File and Save. I'm going to click here. Well, it's a little bit too slow, but well, I have to save it. And notice how on my landing page I had 3 tiles. This is going to show up under the Discoveries menu. So for some reason it's a little bit not cooperating, but let me try to go to okay. I can go back to the landing page and you're going to see this. Right now it's going to show new discovery set, but I was trying, basically when you click over here, it should open the menu and it should give you the option to save the file, but for some reason it's a little bit, okay. Anyway, and to go back to the landing page, you would need to click here and it will open up the menu. Oh, it's not cooperating, looks like it is. Okay. So when you're working in the cloud, we need to be a little bit patient, basically. And sometimes it could be the browser issue too. Okay. Oh, come on. Okay, so, I'm having a technical problem here, and I'm trying to. Oh, no, okay. While we're on this page, I want to show you something very important. See this question mark? It means help. And what it does is, usually when you click on this, it's gonna take you to the help pages. It's gonna take you to the help pages. Right now it's. I'm gonna try closing everything as much as possible. Let's see if it does something. Okay. I'm trying to close as many tabs as possible to see if it makes a difference. Okay. Apparently it's still okay. So anyway, just keep in mind here you have a question mark on almost on every single page, right? On a single page in your in Watson Analytics, and when you click on a question mark, a new page is going to open. Now here, what is this? This is actually, it comes from the column, it's a column name in your spreadsheet, right? So that's one reason you want to use the descriptive column names, just to make sure. Now, since we're stuck on this page, no matter for unknown for how long, you can see decision rules, and you can see the decision tree, and here it's showing me the predictive strength, okay? Now, when this happens, another option is to try a different browser, because sometimes it could be, yeah. So anyway, now, this is another friend, redo, undo. When you do something that you did not want to do, you can just undo, all right? So let me see if this browser will cooperate. It should take me to login page. So sometimes when something is stuck, right, what you can do is you can just try another browser, okay? And it might work. Or sometimes it takes clearing the browser cache, and that will work as well. All right? So, but you got the main idea. And also in the classroom, notice that there is a little reference guide that you could look at, and it shows you step by step on how to do certain important functionalities. Well, trying to close it still does not do it. Anyway, so this is a little bit of patience. And another thing I want to point out is I wanted to point out that there is also a maintenance page. If you go to Watson Analytics community, usually the system is down for like 4 hours, and it's usually happening on Friday evenings. And the reason is because they want to always add new functionalities to do enhancement. Sometimes you might be wondering, how do you do this, how do you do that, right? And
Elena, let's use, until you're doing this, let me just point to two important, so everyone, I guess, already have read the instruction for the group project, and you already know what you have to do. If not, you can ask questions here or in the classroom. The first thing to do after the group are selected is already to brainstorm and tell Elena what data set you would like to work as a team. So she will be creating your folder, your shared folder in Watson, because I think these are two different folders. The data folder in Watson Analytics is the data with which you are going to work. And the shared folder in Leo is where you write and exchange information for the report to produce the proposal. So the first thing is to think which topic you want to work with, which data, upload the data, and prepare the proposal until the end of the next week. These are the first things. And also is very good, there is a link, there is a free Watson Analytics Introduction course in Big Data University. The link is in the classroom. It's very straightforward, and it's not waste of time to get handle on Watson Analytics, so I highly recommend you do that.
Yeah.
I don't know what else Elena have, or we proceed just with question, because I guess many people want to move on and
Yes.
finish the meeting soon.
Oh yeah, I was gonna show something related to sharing. When you work in a team, you won't be able to edit the same file at the same time. And now take a look at this. I have something right here open, right? Even if I log out, I still have it open. Have you noticed that? When I logged into another browser, I'm in the page where I left out, so I still have it open. And your teammate won't be able to modify it. You just can't because you have the file open. Even if you're not logged in, you're still open. You remember I just switched the browser, right? And when I logged in, it took me to the page where I stopped for some reason. For some unknown reason. And even if I did not close it, I did not close it, right, intentionally. I'm going to go to the landing page, right here. And now I'm going to go to Discovery. I'm going to try to share with the team. I can't. And the reason is because I still have it open, okay? So if I have something open, I won't be able to move it to another folder. I won't be able to share it. Because, well, that's a common error that people have been reporting. They're unable to share. So the first thing I'm going to say is the file, have you closed the file? Something like that. By any chance, is another teammate have this file open? It does not matter if they're not logged in at the moment. If you left it open, it's going to stay open. All right? Yeah, I guess we'll go ahead with questions, but I mean, I wanted to make sure people are aware of not to do, and I'm going to be reminding you during the class. But make sure you're not saving anything into the shared area where you're not supposed to be saving. Okay? Okay?
And now questions, because we are almost at the hour, and I know people want to go and look to the debate or do other stuff, so let's go to the questions.
So basically, guys, try different browsers and it works. It happens. I would recommend Google Chrome. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I don't see question in the chat. If anyone wants to ask question, nothing in the chat. You just unmute yourself and ask. No? John, do you have something for the class?
Not really at this moment.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah, Django, I need to add you to this still. I'll do that.
Yelena, you asked me something?
Yeah, I was gonna say that I still need to send you an invitation for this new version of Watson Analytics. I'll do that.
Okay.
No questions? Well, if there are no questions, back to work. Whatever you have to do, enjoy your evening. Whatever you have to work, go with family or whatever you have to do. If there are no more questions, we are ending the today. And everyone have a great night. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, thank you.